Hi kindergartners, welcome back to music class. If you did not get a chance to learn all about the percussion family with us last week, you can click on the button below. This week we are learning about our very last family of instruments from the orchestra. So after today, you will have learned about the 5 family of instruments and all of the instruments in those families that you would find in an orchestra. You guys have been learning so much. Today we are finishing up with those instruments, and next week we will have our last music class together. As you can see, we have 4 instruments in the keyboard family. Today we are learning about the keyboard family. Everyone say keyboard family. I know some of you have said that you have learned how to play the piano, so this is one that you might know some about. A keyboard is a row of keys, white and black keys, that we press with our fingers. You guys have probably seen that before. As long as an instrument has a row of keys that you press with your fingers, then they will be in the keyboard family. Our first instrument in the keyboard family is called the grand piano. Everyone say grand piano. The grand piano is played with your fingers on the keys and your feet on the pedals. So there are little pedals down here that help you play the keyboard or the piano. When you press on these keys, you are making these wooden hammers inside the piano hit strings, and that's how the music comes out. Now, I thought that was kind of hard to imagine, that when you press a key, you are making hammers go up and down. So I have this fun video from a old cartoon that I used to watch when I was your age, and this will show you the wooden hammers on a grand piano hitting the strings to make the music. Let's watch. See, he's pressing the keys with his fingers. That is Tom. Let's look inside the piano. These wooden hammers are popping up as he presses the keys, and they are hitting these strings and making the music. And that's Jerry on the wooden hammers. So that's what's happening inside the pianos. That's what's happening inside of all of these instruments that we will be learning about today in the keyboard family. For the grand piano, we are going to watch a video of 2 boys playing one piano to play one song. They need 4 hands, so 2 hands for one boy and 2 hands for another boy to play all of the keys with their fingers in this song. Because there are 2 people playing, we call that a duet. Everyone say duet. When there are 2 people playing together, we call it a duet. Let's see how the grand piano sounds and how it's played. So that is a piano. I'm sure you have heard a piano played before. Most of you have. And it doesn't just have to be one person playing. 2 people can play it together. We call that a duet. Our next instrument is called the celesta. Everyone say celesta. Some people call it celesta. Everyone say celesta. The celesta is smaller than a grand piano. It is much smaller. There are smaller keys. It is a smaller box. There are smaller hammers inside hitting metal. And because of all of that, the celesta sounds almost like a bell when you play the keys. Some people say it sounds heavenly. So for the video of a celesta, we're going to see a woman playing a very small celesta, and it will almost sound like she's playing very, very high bells. So let's see what that looks like and how that sounds.
Colorado Springs Philharmonic. Celesta is a really music. And the celesta sound is different than hammers hitting on metal, striking metal.
There's the hammers
very
hitting
different
the metal.
from the piano sound, which is hammers striking a string. So not even.
See how high that sounds? And it almost sounds like bells because those hammers, those small little hammers, are hitting metal instead of string. That is the celesta. Next we have the harpsichord, which kind of looks like a fancy grand piano. But the harpsichord, it's hard to see in this picture, but the harpsichord has two keyboards. So the grand piano has one row of white and black keys, and the harpsichord, everyone say harpsichord, has two rows of keys. On the video, you are going to see two rows of white and black keys. It's going to sound very high. To me, it almost sounds like a video game being played. But this is going to be a good video to show you the two rows of keys that are on a harpsichord that you have to play. See how there's two rows, there's one row and two rows, and he's playing both of them. Now he's playing the row higher up. Lots of keys to play. And do you hear how it sounds differently from the piano and from the celesta? What do you think? Do you think it sounds kind of like a video game? All right, our very last instrument of all of our instruments, our very last instrument of the keyboard family is the biggest instrument of all. And that instrument is called the pipe organ. Everyone say pipe organ. The pipe organ is played by this, which looks a little bit like a funky piano. It has more than two rows. It usually has about 4 rows of keys that you have to play. And instead of a hammer hitting a string inside the piano, there are pipes, usually up on the walls. Imagine this being one big wall of big old pipes, and that is where the music comes out of. So the pipe organ can be very loud, but you can also play it very softly. And because it has so many keys, you can imagine you can play it very high or very low. So for the video, we are going to watch a man playing one big pipe organ. You will hear how low and loud it will sound, and you will see the pipes up on the wall where the music is coming from. There are all those rows of keys. There's lots of colors to play as well. And there, up on the wall, are the big pipes that It's all a part of the one instrument, the pipe organ, and the music is coming out of there. That is a big instrument. You can see he was playing it both fast and slow, high and low. You can do a lot with the pipe organ. Just like that, you have learned all of the instruments of the 5 instrument families. We learned all about an orchestra, the string family, the woodwind family, the brass family, the percussion family, and now the keyboard family. And I hope along the way you guys found maybe a favorite family of instruments that you like, or maybe a favorite instrument that you like and you're really interested in. All of these instruments are played in the orchestra and in band. You can all learn how to play any of these instruments when you get a chance. I'm going to ask you to please join me next week. We are going to quickly sing our last song together for our last music class now that we have finished up our instruments. I will see you next week for that. I'm so proud of you guys. You are almost first graders. See you soon. Bye, friends.